Obviously, just in terms of the first couple of days, it feels like everybody's feeling each other out. It's a discovery process. But for you, what's it been like, sort of getting to know a new coaching staff and that coach, and also putting your best foot forward, making first impression?
Right. Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's tough with a whole new staff coming in, but I give credit to all the coaches that have made a good first impression and really reached that kind of first hand out and asking us for information to meet and just to get to know us better. It's tough when some guys are closed or really don't want much of a relationship to start. They've been really good, really pushing that, and that's comes from Coach Hafley and trickled all the way down to the players.
So, I forget who said it, but they were talking about the combine. They were saying that it was like a measurement of competitiveness, and you were super high on it. With that in mind, these are important, right? Like establishing competitiveness early, especially with a new staff. Right. How you go about that, and how have you seen that sort of go about in the first?
Right. I think it's just throughout the team, and personally, I hate losing, maybe more than I like winning, but that's just the culture that these coaches came in and wanted to do, like you said, with the family and the relationships that we're going to build, and also with the tough competitive nature. And it's been a great offseason. We've had a lot of fun, competing, and that's where it comes out of. And it's finally good to get on the field and transition that competing in the weight room, whether it's how many reps you can bench, but now it's football and you're going against the whole team, and it's fun because you can build off each other and work off each other's intensity, and it's been a lot of fun.
Plus, you're kind of a caretaker in that 12 personnel grouping. I'm sure Frank has new plans for you. Do you feel you can grow your game now to maybe a more pro-style offense?
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's one of the things he wanted to install early was being able to run that pro-style offense and almost get away from that 12 personnel. I think it suits my game really well, and I think Coach Signetti and the other quarterbacks are all working really hard to implement that and put the best foot forward when it comes out to the field.
And just the fact, they bring in a kid from Notre Dame. So does that just increase the competition in the room and drive you to even
right? Yeah, absolutely. And the thing about the quarterback is only one guy can play.
Yeah.
So there's a level of competition, and who's going to be the guy. Phil fits in perfectly with the room. It's a good piece, and obviously we're all competitive guys in the room, and that just drives the competitive nature up a little bit. And whether it's in the meeting room, on the whiteboard, or out on the field throwing balls. So he brings a good competitive nature, and it just pushes all of us to get better.
For you, is that anything kind of new? You had that with AB, and then you got in there, and is this any kind of a new situation?
No, absolutely not. Like I said, the years I've been here, I've always had to compete to get my reps and get what's going on. But no, it's how it is. It comes with the position. Everyone's got to compete because if you're the guy, there's always a guy behind you who's trying to get better and push you higher. And if you're not the guy, you're competing to be the guy. So it's all part of the position, part of the game. But it's nothing new. We're all embracing it.
NFL Combine this weekend. Just real quick, any memories as a kid kind of growing up watching it to kind of spark your interest in football? Maybe that wasn't there, or?
No specific memory. I just always remember, maybe not the Combine, but more the draft of seeing guys. I was a huge Browns fan. I still am. So seeing who was going to be the guy that tried to get the Browns out of their slump, and it's still the same way. But no, just from the Combine. Knowing guys as you get older and you play with guys that go to the Combine, and you're watching them a lot more. You're pulling for them, and you get a good feel to see how it really transitions and everything. I talked to AJ a little bit earlier this week, and he was super excited for it, and he's just kind of giving me some tidbits of what it's like, because seeing it on TV is nothing like it is in person. He said the meetings and the medical stuff go all day, and that's stuff that they don't show on TV. They show the bench in the 40s, so it's a little different.
And the one you guys had here, what you kind of take from that?
It just took that you get your one shot, and that's what something Coach 2 said earlier that week was, you've been building, your entire college career for that one shot, and you better not let it slip, because unlike a season where you have 12 or 13 shots to prove who you are, that's whether it's 4 or 5 seconds in the 40 or one time on the bench. It's something that you can't get back, and you got to be ready for it.
The meetings and the medical stuff, like how closely was that replicated in your in the PC Combine situation? Just in terms of scheduling?
Yeah, so basically what we did was just the scheduling. We didn't do any of the meetings or the medical stuff, but it was, we focused in having the Combine later in the day because that's when the stuff is. So just the little stuff that you might not think about, timing and the position groupings and, your time to stretch and your time to compete and your time to do that. So just the stuff that, like I said, little things you might not know or might not pick up seeing on TV, and something that Coach 2 is trying to implement early on so we can be ready for it when the time comes.
How did you come out of it feeling in terms of what you learned, or Bryson so forth.
Yeah, I mean,
come out with a gained experience.
Oh yeah, definitely a gained experience, and definitely just more of a respect for the guys that go through it. Sure. We felt the pressure and the competitive spirit on the field, just us, and I couldn't imagine having all the coaches and the GMs and the other players you're on against on a bigger stage. So it's impressive to see those guys compete and really put their best foot forward, because they've been training since the end of the season. Some guys before then for that 3 or 4 days to compete. So it's just really cool to see them do well, and I'm cheer for the guys we played for, and even the guys we played against, knowing that I've seen that guy play. That guy's hit me pretty hard, and just seeing that he's going to do well in the combine. So
You have a base of 7 starts to build upon. Just talk about that experience you had last year and where you're going to take it.
Obviously in a game like this, experience is everything. Whether it's on the field or even in practice, I talked about reps being so important for experience. I think the in-game experience that I gained last year is something that I'm building upon in practice, and hopefully building upon this year in the games. But it's just something that it's invaluable, and there's nothing that can simulate that as much as you try to do it in practice, or as much as you try to do it in the meeting room, or just fast reps or something like that. There's something about the speed of the game and being able to really get the whole feel of it. Offense, defense, stadium vibes. There's nothing that you can compare it to, and that's just something that you can only feel it if you're there. And so,
I'm sorry.
2 more guys.
I just having Tyler and Ben and Alec and 4 guys back. How does that help you guys? It's obvious.
Right. Yeah. It helps us a ton, and being that the O-line is one of the most important parts of the offense. Is the most important part of the offense. To have 4 returning guys is something that you can't replace. And the cliche saying it all starts up front is totally builds, especially for our offense, who's a pro style attack. It's going to be a valuable piece that we're going to have to lean on for some of the young guys coming up. It's got to be our crutch, and it got to be our attack, really.